And tonight on our Great American panel, he is a columnist with the Wall Street Journal. John Fund is back. She's a writer for the Daily Caller, attorney, Fox News contributor. The one and only liberal Tamara Holder is here. She's a former reporter, host on Fox Sports, and currently hosts NBC's Poker After Dark, model, TV personality, the one and only Leanne Tweeden. All right, you want to get a full body scan?
No, I don't.
You want to get a groping?
Well, let me tell you, a couple weeks ago, before all of the hubbub started at American Airlines at LAX, I was talking to my husband, who is a pilot, and we were talking about the first pilot who said, I don't want to be groped, it shouldn't be. I mean, my husband's like, I fly the plane. If I want to crash the plane, I can do that. Why do I need to be checked? There should be another system in place.
Right.
It just seems redundant. I asked for an opt-out. I told the person, look, I don't want to go through the scanner. They picked me. I don't know why, if I look like a terrorist, but I said no. And then the guy proceeded to kind of yell at me, and they were mad that I was opting out. I go, look, I know I can opt out. I'll take secondary pat down, whatever. And they were just mad at me, and then they held me up, but one guy was like, why don't you want to do it? And I said, you know what, I don't want to be photographed, and I don't want to have that radiation.
Yeah, and I actually feel bad for this guy. Now they want to fine this guy $11,000. He was not disrespectful. When the guy described he was going to grab his groin, and he's like, whoa, don't touch my junk, was now become infamous. And I don't blame him.
No, well, there's a bigger issue here, and the issue is that if somebody actually gets to the security checkpoint, we have a problem. The issue is that we should be targeting these people at the gate, or at when they get their ticket.
Actually, most of the people.
Ms. Liberal, you say you support profiling?
I do, in a sense, not just name profiling or Muslim profiling, but there are certain triggers. There are personality traits that Israelis, they are known and they are trained to actually locate these people and make sure that they do not make it to the security scanner.
Finally, you got it right. I am impressed.
I know.
The Israelis, after 9/11, tried to tell us how to do it. You know, the Israelis use private contractors and psychological profiling. We decided not to go that way. We created this giant bureaucracy called TSA, and you know what the Obama administration is about to do? They, without even consulting Congress, are about to unionize TSA. That will mean that no matter how much somebody gropes any of us, they won't be able to fire it because you have union protection.
Listen, this is all going to blow up after Thanksgiving because everyone's going to get on airplanes and there's going to be a lot of groping and a lot of people in these scans, and kids are going to, they're doing this to 3-year-old kids are crying for crying out loud. I mean, no pun intended.
Well, it's not just the groping, though. It's also like 3 ounces if you're above 3 ounces. If you have breast milk, you can't take that with you. You know, it's like, what are we doing here? They're still going to find a way to do something if they want to.
I promise I won't take more than 3 ounces. But go ahead. I don't have young kids anymore.
It's just not very efficient the way they're going about it, and I think profiling is going to have to be the way that's going to do this because, look, the guy.
He's not politically correct, Leanne. That's the problem.
Sean, even the Europeans don't require you to take your shoes off.
What's that?
Even the Europeans don't require you to take your shoes off.
Oh, wait a minute. What about this idea of care that Muslim women get a waiver?
That's just political correctness.
Being politically correct.
No waiver.
And that's not right.
All right, let's go to Charlie Rangel. All right, so he's convicted of 11 to 13 counts. Shows up yesterday, puts on a big show. Here's part of what happened.
Each time that I've asked for a hearing, do any of you believe that I was asking for a hearing without counsel? I don't think it's fair that I participate in any type of proceeding if in fact what you are basically telling me that the political calendar will not allow you enough counsel, enough time to allow me to get a lawyer at this crucial point in my life. 50 years of public service is on the line.
He's had 2 years. Should he, 2 questions, should he and will he be thrown out?
No, they're only going to reprimand him.
Should he?
I think criminal.
Whoa, you don't think they should?
I think the Justice Department, if it wasn't run by Eric Holder, would have taken a much closer view of this.
Really?
This is not paying taxes.
You can't blame Eric Holder for this.
I don't see any investigation of Charlie Rangel. I don't see any investigation.
Okay, but it's not
They didn't pay
conspiracy
taxes
by the Justice Department.
No, I'm simply saying.
There are other people who have gotten off, like Tom DeLay. They investigated
He's on trial right now. He's on trial. He's being prosecuted.
Wait a minute. You're going to defend his actions? You're going to all these.
I'm not defending his actions, but I think that Charlie Rangel actually did something very smart. I'm not defending it, but what he did was he said, I am not going to have a trial.
Should he be brought up on charges?
Yes, of course he should. I think so, because when you break the law and then he tries to bring in, well, I've had 50 years of service, you're going to let me go down like this. Well, you're the one who broke the law 11 times. 13 counts, but it ended up being 11 by the subcommittee of people of his own peers.
You get to throw it out, Leanne. Always. It's like a tradition. What was that?
That was
And more with our great American panel. All right, so I interviewed George W. Bush. Very gracious, won't take a shot against President Obama, but at the opening of the Bush, or the groundbreaking Bush Presidential Library in Dallas, Dick Cheney did, in a way. What's this?
Of course, the George W. Bush Presidential Center isn't much to look at just yet, but the workers are ready. Construction will move fast after today's groundbreaking. This may be the only shovel-ready project in America.
That is a great line.
it's pretty clever.
I just think it's terrible. I think it's
What's
a
so
cheap
terrible?
shot.
A cheap shot.
It is a cheap shot.
Where's your sense of humor? That's funny.
It is. I laughed. Don't you see the smile on my face?
I think it's funny. I mean, all the money has already been paid for before they even broke ground, so that's interesting.
Yeah. Well, where are all the shovel-ready jobs that your president promised us?
I don't know. You should probably ask all the corporations that are sending all of their money overseas.
Well, what about the $1 trillion that they promised that unemployment would be below 8%? You're a big liberal. I mean, you thought that we were supposed to have all this stimulated economy and all these jobs created. What happened?
I'm a big liberal, but I think that's the biggest problem that Democrats have right now. Where are the jobs?
Wait a minute.
Because of economic
$1 trillion.
uncertainty.
I'm asking you. You supported this $1 trillion. Where are the jobs?
I don't know. I don't know.
So we wasted $1 trillion.
I don't think we wasted
Sean,
$1
we are
trillion.
5 weeks away from the largest tax increase in American history. A lot of businesses won't hire because they don't know what their tax bill is. They don't know what the regulatory climate is. They don't know about any of the uncertainty that Obama's created, whether it's going to lift or whether it's going to intensify. Obviously, you're not going to create jobs into that environment.
But I want to go back to you. So we spent $1 trillion and we got no jobs.
I don't think that we got no jobs.
Well, where are they?
I don't know. I don't know. I've tried to find the numbers and where they are, and I'm a bad liberal.
The president kept saying
for
over and
this.
over again, shovel-ready jobs, shovel-ready jobs.
And I think people are wondering. You know, I'm in Chicago. I'm in the inner city a lot.
And you
driving
still support
through.
the president?
I do not. No, I don't.
You don't support Obama?
I've said this publicly that I have buyer's remorse. I want to see him succeed in 2 years or for the next 2 years. Not
But you
because
won't
I'm
vote
going
for
to
him
vote
again.
for him again. I don't know. Let's see what happens in 2 years. But everybody's upset. You cannot turn on another channel and see any liberal saying the president is doing a great job.
They're upset that he didn't spend enough money.
No, that's
Right.
not true.
Well, I mean, obviously $1 trillion didn't get anything done, really. Our unemployment's still very high, and John's very correct that, you know, the shovel-ready jobs are supposed to be a lot of construction, things that could happen right away, and put a lot of people into business. But like you said, a lot of the businesses aren't going to hire those people or build anything if they don't know what's coming as far as
What's the
tax market.
Republicans' plan? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Very simple.
Everything that's on the front page
You don't want an answer. I'll give you
cut
the
the
answer.
budget.
Okay.
They're going to
Lower
cut
taxes.
spending. They're going to cut. They want to deal with entitlements. Number two, they're going to cut taxes to stimulate the economy for everybody across the board. And they're going to dump some of this burdensome regulation and bureaucracy in Washington, and that's a good start.
Okay, but 90% of the money is to all of the wealthiest people in America.
Now, wait a
How
minute.
is that
Oh,
going?
my
You know,
God.
Ronald Reagan once said, a
How is
poor
that
person
percent?
never hired me.
Exactly. The poor person never hired me in my whole life.
Right.
Most of these tax cuts for the people who are supposedly rich, half of that income goes to small businesses. Small
right.
businesses hire 80% of the workers in this country.
Really? Exxon doesn't pay their taxes. Google doesn't pay their taxes. All of the largest corporations in this country
Small
do not
business
pay
does
their
pay their
taxes.
taxes, and they hire. And we're about to raise their taxes. I don't think two wrongs make a right.
Leanne, do you think it's a good idea that the Democrats keep Nancy Pelosi? Because I actually support the move. I think it's a very smart thing to do. I don't want to discourage them in any way from supporting Nancy Pelosi.
You think that's going to help out in 2 years, right?
I think this is a
You know,
Sean, let me tell you how much the Democrats are in trouble. This is a Democratic congressman in Politico. Quote, people woke up the day after the election as afraid of Nancy Pelosi as they were the Monday before, and they shouldn't be.
Leanne?